But is he using that as a base to interfere in the elections in his homeland next Tuesday? If he was to come back today, I'd roll out the red carpet, said Justin Luther Castle, a 32-year-old man sitting outside the Pray for Peace Business Center in Gabartala, central Liberia. In an interview with local journalists outside a campaign rally, she said that the country needed to get back to the agenda outlined by Taylor when he was president. But she denied that he was influencing the 2017 elections. He still wants his voice heard in the Liberian political scene, he said. Mrs. Howard Taylor has made her allegiance to her ex-husband clear. Defending his choice of running mate, he said simply, "People love her, she was the mother of this nation." He is heard saying that this revolution is his life. He advises his people not to betray the party, go back to base and everything will be fine. Rodney C., editor of Front Page Africa, the Liberian paper that first published the call, said he was sure that Taylor knew that he was speaking to an audience. The former military base may be crumbling, with buildings almost completely engulfed by the jungle, but Taylor's name is still as strong as ever in Bon County. More than 5 years since the former president was sentenced for war crimes committed in neighboring Sierra Leone, people in his heartland are still harking back to the old days. Liberia's former president Charles Taylor is currently serving a 50-year sentence for war crimes in a prison in the British city of Durham. Having historically been a staunch critic of Taylor, and his National Patriotic Party, NPP, questions are being asked of the motives. Speaking to the BBC after a friendly football game just outside the capital, Mr. Weah admitted to taking a call from prison. But he rejected the idea that strings were being pulled. "Charles Taylor is not running the campaign for us," he said. The union between Mr. Weah's Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, and the NPP came some months after a phone call from the former warlord was broadcast to a gathering of his supporters on his birthday in January this year. "Even with the sound of the gun, life was better," said one frustrated young man, bemoaning the lack of basic necessities in the country. "If Charles Taylor was campaigning for me, I think the world would be aware. But the world is aware of the alleged interference, and it is concerned." This was Charles Taylor's rebel headquarters in the 1990s. Taylor wanted his people to know that he was still relevant, according to Mr. C. Gathered round on plastic chairs, drinking beer and discussing the forthcoming Liberian elections, the men here are clearly frustrated. The call was made from inside a high-security prison in Durham. In an unlikely alliance, former World Footballer of the Year George Weah, who is running on the presidential ballot for the third time, has chosen Taylor's ex-wife, Jewel Howard Taylor, as his deputy.